How's it going, guys? Panther Films here. Today we're going to be reacting to Season 2, Episode 11 of Andor. This episode is titled, Who Else Knows? Yeah, last episode we said goodbye to Luthen and Lonnie. Basically, Lonnie gave Luthen some information about the Death Star. Kyber, Jeddah, Galen, all of it's connected. And all the news that they've been spinning about like Gorman and everything is all just a front for what they're really hiding. Lonnie gave Luthen that information, Luthen killed him, and Luthen knew that the Empire would be coming for him next. And they did, so he managed to save Kleya by telling her that he'd shut down the communication device in the art gallery, the art shop, or his little shop, right? As he was doing that, Dedra visited him, they had a confrontation, and then Luthen stabbed himself to obviously stop the Empire getting a hold of him. He wasn't dead completely, and because he wasn't dead completely, Kleya went to the hospital he was in, infiltrated it, blew up a bunch of Imperial security ships, got to the floor Luthen was on, unplugged him from the machine he was in, and he died. And also we got to see some Luthen and Kleya backstory, which was pretty cool. It's just a shame it was left so late. Yeah, I mean, now Kleya's on Coruscant. I assume she's going to need help to get off Coruscant, and she needs to pass that information along to Andor. So I guess we'll see what happens there. Also, for some reason, this episode is short as fuck. Don't know why. We're coming to the end of the show, and this is the length of episodes they give us. Ridiculous. Oh, and also, Dedra was arrested, because obviously Lonnie looked through her files, and she acted out and went after Luthen, and now she's going to have to pay for that. Yeah, I mean, that basically sums it all up. So let's stop doodling around with this shitty intro and get right into the fucking episode. Oh, they're playing the music when Luthen died. I mean, she has to be very important now, right? Cassian has to get to Coruscant.
I'm not sure that's safe. Hit the switch.
Well, this is kind of pointless, because we're not following this up immediately. This is the only big problem with Andor Season 2 is that, we didn't really get to see K2 and Cassian bond. And, Cassian maybe not trusting him, because we skipped it, you know? I can't believe this episode is that short, to be honest. But this is the penultimate episode of Andor, and you're telling me it's only 30-ish minutes? Behave. Yep. You can see that blaster hole in his head.
There's a shift change in process, so I don't
This is Supervisor Miro's security package. Who's that?
He runs the hospital.
I was told there was a team of 3.
That's the current thinking.
A team of 3?
Luthen Rail's body. At the moment, it's still...
Don't move it. Touch nothing. Everything stays in place until we know exactly what...
He's touching it, though.
Are you the one that's closed my hospital?
At the moment, all I've done is shut the doors.
If we are in a position to admit patients or not.
Arrest him. If you're slowing me down, you're a suspect. I need immediate access to your security logs.
Yeah, she'll be on the cameras, right? Surely. What's going to happen with her? I'm curious. Because how does she know about the Death Star stuff? Why was that in her files? See, this is the stuff that I'm how did she get this? The fact that they skipped over that? Uh-oh, Krennic. You haven't been talking to the Rebels, have you, mate?
Who else knows?
Name of the episode.
About what?
Has my reputation slid so precipitously?
Damn. Dialogue.
What single thing would drag me to this forsaken base? Say it. Say the word.
Death Star.
I want the names. I don't know.
This is absurd.
Resistance.
Well, she's definitely not a Rebel spy.
You should talk to Hirt about Young. They were close.
Your motivations are far less pressing than the extent of your betrayal.
If Young had my sword, then he stole.
Who told you about Galen Urso?
Yeah, how did she find out about them details?
Edu research journals.
Yeah.
Found.
I didn't read them all. Most of them I never opened.
But you read enough, didn't you?
Uh-huh.
Supervisor Young spent 3 hours last night logged into your account. Now, shall we take a guess?
What's he doing?
Searching for Axis. That's all I was ever doing. And I found him.
He's dead.
There's a partisan spy mentioned in the Jeddah readouts. A valet for the local moth.
With the mindless decision to confront Luthen Rail on your own!
He's got a point.
If you're not a rebel spy, you missed your calling.
See, when you're too good at your job, someone above you sorts you out.
Whatever Young told Rail, she knows too. We need agents at every transit point we can cover.
We'll do our best to carry on without you.
Yep. So does she know that Luthen's dead?
I want to see coverage of the outside entrance area.
That's gone, yeah. Blown out. Yeah. So, I wouldn't sit there.
Oh, I wouldn't sit there.
Cousin actually has an application in with the ISB.
Shut up and get busy.
Is that Kleya? What's she doing? Wait, also, you're telling me that, like, detonator and that thing that unlocks stuff was in the room that Cassian was in this whole time? Yep, there it is.
Is she coming or going?
This would be leaving.
Get me as close as you can. Roll back again.
Enhance. What is it? Communicator? Yes? Yeah. She's going to send a message to Andor. Or someone to pick her up. I'd assume Andor, considering the show is named Andor.
It's like she's turning away.
She knows there's a camera.
Yeah. They'll see her face. And she's going to be wanted. Morse code. Oh, I like that. Every beep it cuts. And she looked right at the camera there. Oh, look. Wilmon. Limping, though.
What is this? It woke me up. It was chattering away. Is it a radio?
When?
Okay, that's going to Wilmon. Take it to Cassian.
I, unlike you, have never cheated.
Wait, what are they doing? Oh, Melshi, nice.
3-0.
Challenge.
Accepted.
5 fives.
You know what is wild about the K2 droid? It's not practical, right? Because I swear there was, like, videos of Alan Tudyk in the mocap suit.
You're nervous?
He's nervous.
He is very nervous. That's another impossibility.
What's up?
Hmm.
Hey, wait.
Whoa, 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 whoa. That's a game in real life, right? Like, it's like dominoes, and then you kind of, like, put them together and it adds up to a number and shit.
That depends on the level of saturation required.
The saturation.
What's the charge? Is it sedition or murder?
She's diseased.
Yeah.
She escaped the hospital with an infectious condition that threatens everyone with whom she may come in contact.
There it is. What are you still doing here?
Death Star. What a prescient turn of phrase.
I can't protect you, Leo.
You were supposed to be ready by now.
You sound like Tarkin. A few more tests. We're there.
Save the sermon for Palpatine.
He's not wrong.
I was due in Scarif 2 hours ago.
Best of luck to us both.
Mm-hmm. Is that the last time we're going to see Krennic? So I guess it's just a few days before Vogue then? It's got to be.
I can call up the exact language if you're curious. I see. No one is curious.
When was the last time it was tested?
It works, Cass, so keep it charged.
Who are we hiding from?
The Empire. Yeah. There it is.
I'm guessing it's something you've memorized.
Is the U-wing powered up?
Was I correct?
Is the ship prepped?
Yes.
Was I correct? What if the Empire can trace that, though? Draven.
Where are they? We have an orbital coordinate.
Heading where?
Unknown, sir.
I've been counting the orders we've disobeyed so far. Would you like to know how many?
No.
17.
17. Ooh, what a shot. They took her things off, the blue, her ranking.
Why is this a Krennic project? Why is it so important?
She can't tell you that.
She's too smart to go where they're looking.
Yeah.
Where would she go?
Does she know about the apartment shit?
She'll need to reach out.
We're scanning everything we can.
There was a radio on Ferrix, and her Krieger had one. We found several of them.
Hmm.
It's probably too late.
Probably. She's still on Coruscant, though.
Luthen rail whistles and you two come running.
Yep.
A final call.
After all this!
You can run him down all you want. But the truth is none of this would be here
Without Luthen. Yep.
Confine this man to quarters until further notice.
What? But he's not wrong, though. All of this wouldn't be what it is without him. Is that an Inquisitor helmet? Or is that the Starkiller helmet?
They've been using Imperial broadcast power for who knows how long.
Here he is. I'm surprised they wouldn't, like, check incoming ships. Yeah, I mean, because they'd expect someone to come in and rescue her, right?
Well, she's never been to Coruscant.
You know where we're going? I think so.
I've been to Coruscant. I was in a parade there once. The Emperor was there.
Sorry, I missed that.
Wait, so that's wild. I guess K2 does remember what happened? Unless they got rid of the Gorman memory. I don't know. She's probably been up all night.
I don't have time for that. I need a location. All the options for that require a connection. I can't trace back something I don't have a...
Oh. Is that coming from Cassian or is that coming from Kleya? That's coming from Kleya, okay. Do they know her location now?
Good news, sir. We have a promising location here in Coruscant.
Yeah, I guess.
They'll pick you up out front.
Well, yeah, I'd assume they would pick him up out front. Come on. We've got to be quick, they're coming.
Up there. Far corner.
Shit. That's so far, though. Also, the Empire is just going to land right by the apartment. They don't give a fuck.
There you go, sir. Sergeant Benzie.
There you go, sir. It's not like that armor does anything, though. I don't know why, like, Kleya wouldn't just meet them down there and then get to the ship as quick as possible.
Supervisor!
He got suited up quick. But then his lower half is fully not armoured.
All non-essential frequencies will be down until further notice.
Then they can just do that. As if a droid could get bored. What?
Oh no.
Yeah, I told you they'd land right there. Hurry up, guys. I get it. They're cautious. They don't know if it's a trap or not, but hurry the fuck up. I guess this floor is just abandoned.
It's been a while.
That explains why the apartment is just kind of fucked up. What a cut. The silence of them going through it to this loud shit.
You have a trace?
Not yet. Hang on.
Shit. Just say Kleya.
Luthen! Luthen, it's me, Cassian.
He's dead.
It'd be you, wouldn't it?
Fuck.
The energy project. Palpatine's energy push. It's a lie. Gorman, Scarif, Jeddah, the obsession with Kyber. It's all been part of one big lie.
If you remember, like, the key words.
And you're sure Luthen's dead?
Yeah, I killed him myself. I wonder if Cassian believes her.
Repeat what I've told you. Galen Erso, Gorman, this is direct from ISB as of yesterday morning.
We cannot stay here, Kleya.
He doesn't believe her, does he?
Nothing to see, keep moving.
Nothing to see, keep moving.
I know what they think of Luthen. That's to be my sanctuary.
We'll be safe there. I'm not leaving you here.
Yeah. After all this, he's not going to leave you.
Did we request an enforcement droid? Sorry, repeat please.
Oh.
Are you with us?
No.
No.
Yep. Oh. Wrong room.
Got it.
So both.
Directly above us.
Yeah.
He just couldn't swallow his pride.
Thank the galaxy, he didn't.
Mm.
He stayed to figure this out. And you need to tell these people in Yavin what they're up against.
Well, they still don't believe it until the last fucking minute, do they? Cassian's hair looks more like Rogue One hair. They're gonna end the episode, aren't they? Fuck you. It did feel a lot more like a setup. It was still a good episode, but it was definitely a setup for the next one, right? Like, obviously, Cassian has got the information about, like, Galen, Kyber, Jeddah, Scarif, but he's not taking any of it seriously because he doesn't believe it. And he also just wants to make sure Kleya's safe. I guess it also does kind of tie into the beginning of Rogue One, now that I think about it. Because, like, that guy tells Cassian about Galen, and then he's like, Galen Urso? You know what I mean? So I guess that information just came from Kleya. That's how he first heard about the name. Krennic is fucking ridiculous. Ben Mendelsohn is... I can't believe they wasted him on, like, in Marvel, in Secret Invasion. Like, I'm glad that they're actually utilising Krennic. I hope we see more of him, to be honest. Hopefully there's like a show or something set in between Revenge and New Hope. Whether animation or live action, I don't really care. Just more Ben Mendelsohn. You haven't been talking to the Rebels, have you, mate? You've been talking about the Death Star, mate? Yeah, that scene with Krennic, like, he put his fucking finger on her head. Like, she obviously doesn't like to be touched. Like, once he touched her head, she started freaking the fuck out. And that kind of happened in the last few episodes when Cyril put his hands on her, right? So, that's interesting. Yeah, Dedra's fucked. She's definitely not going to end up on the Death Star. So I guess she's just going to go into prison? I do like the Death Star theory, though. It is a good theory. Maybe Partagaz could be on the Death Star or something. Wouldn't really make sense. But, I mean, Partagaz does know about the Death Star. I think he always knew. It's been over a decade or something like that, right? So he knew about Krennic working on that. You sound like Tarkin. Which I don't even think we need to see Tarkin or anything like that. I assume it's been the last we've seen of Krennic, right? Will we see him next episode? Maybe. It just sucks that this episode was so short. You know, like, I like Wilmon saying that all of this wouldn't be possible without Luthen. Yet again, I mean, I'm going to bring it up. I do wish the time jumps weren't every 3 episodes, because season 1 is a whole year of the timeline, and it feels so fleshed out and stuff because a lot happens in season 1. But then you have this season where it's like stuff happens, but it just feels like not a lot happens at the same time. We get 3 episodes, and like the TIE Avenger stuff, that's not come back. So it just feels like that was a bit pointless, right? The Yavin shit, like it'd be great to see how they found Yavin, how they set up the Rebel base in Yavin. We didn't get to see that. We didn't get to see Mon Mothma's family's reaction to what happened to her, like, you know, in episode 9. The Tay Korma aftermath, like, nothing came out of that. Like, it does suck that every 3 episodes was a year after. It didn't really have a lot of weight, and a lot of things didn't carry over too much. In my opinion, that hurts the story, and I get why they didn't want to do it, because I think they had, like, a 5-season plan or something like that, but it would take too long to make 5 seasons, so... I think what would have been the ideal way to tell the story would have been season 2 would have been 12 episodes, obviously, with 6 episodes being BBY 4 and then 6 episodes being BBY 3, right? And then season 3, which would be the final season, you'd have 2 BBY for the first 6 episodes, and then 1 BBY for the final 6. I think that would have been perfect. And it would have been an easier way for them just to balance it. Instead of doing 5 seasons, you only do 3, but every 6 episodes is a different year. I think that would have been better. Because you get more episodes to work with that timeline, and then you can do a little bit more, and let the story breathe a little bit. Like, to me, it feels like the 3 episode arcs that we've been getting are like the half of the story in that time. Episode 1 through 3 this season, you know, Brazo dies and then they fly off that planet. But then it's like, where do they take the TIE Avenger? What happens after that, you know? So it feels like that's room for another 3 episodes in that BBY4 timeline. I don't know, it does suck, because obviously they were pressed for time and they were, you know, they didn't want to work on another season. I still feel like a season 3 would have been fine. But I get that you don't want to stretch out a story for nearly When did Andor Season 1 come out? I mean, the show was announced around the time Disney Plus started, right? Or just after, I think, Rogue One came out. There was, like, rumours that a Cassian film or something like that was in the works. So, I mean, if it was a film, they probably wouldn't have been able to do it justice, to be honest. And it's still good, but it's just, like, come on, man. I would have loved to see how they filmed the Rebel base on Yavin. I also just find it weird that we haven't seen Mon Mothma yet. Like, we're 2 episodes into this final arc, and then Cassian shows up. I mean, I guess this year's not really that active for him until the last few days. Well, I guess you'd have this lead into Rogue One, and then Rogue One into his death. So, I knew they'd see Kleya's face on the cameras and shit. The fact that she kept hiding her face, and then she just looked directly at the camera, is interesting. Also, I like how she said, of course it'd be you. Who else would come? Of course Cassian would come. Luthen sacrificing himself and getting this information to, like, Kleya and stuff, and Kleya gives that information to Cassian, doesn't really hold that much weight because Cassian finds out about Galen anyway, and the Bodhi stuff in Rogue One. But I guess that's what makes it believable, because he was told by Kleya about Galen, and then he hears someone else talk about Galen, and then he's like, oh shit, wait. You know, that's how he puts it together, I feel like. That's what makes it a bit more believable to him. That makes more sense, but it does suck that Luthen's sacrifice in a way meant that Cassian didn't really believe it until someone else said it. I mean, the Rebels were pretty stupid in Rogue One, to be honest. Like, all of this was formed to fight the Empire, and then you're just going to give up when it's time to strike? Like, what? I'm curious to see how next episode leads into Rogue One. Because if it does it really well, I'm tempted to, like, rewatch Rogue One again, even though I've rewatched it before the season, and then maybe react to it. Because, I mean, it wouldn't necessarily be a decent reaction because I've just rewatched it before the season, but still. But I guess we'd go into Rogue One with more context surrounding things. I think another thing that does suck about the 3-episode arc stuff is that obviously we didn't see, like, Dedra read through the files about the Death Star. I wish we maybe saw more of Lonnie looking through the file. Like, that could have been in the end of an episode. He could have looked through Dedra's file, seen what he saw, and then boom, he goes to Luthen, which would be like the episode after. So technically it would be like season 3, episode 9 would be the episode Lonnie finds out about the Death Star plans, and then season 3, episode 10 would have been what last episode is, and then you would have this episode as season 3, episode 11. It sucks, because it always happens with television, man. Like, they cut corners, they try to do it because, like, oh, the actors are going to get a bit too old. It's like, Better Call Saul didn't give a fuck. The actors looked much older than they did when Breaking Bad took place, and it's a prequel series, so it's like, they did a good job somewhat hiding it, but, like, you know, Jonathan Banks looked much older as Mike versus how he looked in Breaking Bad, so it's... Who gives a fuck? Sure, you've got to suspend your disbelief a little bit, but you know it's set beforehand. And obviously, this is a Disney project, so, like, millions go into this, so they can just, like, put some de-aging effects. They did it literally last episode with Luthen. They could have just done the same with Cassian if they're going to use the excuse of, like, oh, I'm going to look too old. I don't think he'd even look that much older anyway, you know what I mean? Like... Technically, Cassian, it's been like a decade since Cassian was revealed, right? Nearly. It's probably been a decade for Diego Luna, like as he started filming Rogue One, right? I don't know, I just feel like it would have been fine if we got one more season. I think 3 seasons is enough. Like, you have the first season, which is 1 year, then season 2 and season 3 are 2 years each. But I mean, I'm rambling about like how many seasons and how much I wish the story was expanded a little bit, but hey, the show is so good that I feel like it deserves more than just 2 seasons. You know, you don't need to drag it out, but just have, I think, like I said, I think a lot of things have been cut out, and that's kind of hurt the story a little bit, and it feels like a lot of the things have been pointless. Still not seen Saw. The Wilmon and Saw scene, fucking useless. What was the point? Like, it would be great to see how Saw lost his leg and how he lost himself even further, but we don't have room to tell that story because we've only got 3 episodes to fucking do it, and we need to dedicate 3 episodes to a specific storyline to push the story forward. Like, you're telling me nothing happens in the span of the last 3 episodes and these 3? Of course they do. Stuff does happen, it's just sadly we don't get to see it because it's only a 3-episode arc when it should be 6 episodes. Because then you could have like the main shit in the first 3 or something, and then you could have the aftermath of everything in the next 3. Like, I know me talking about all that is a bit of a negative, but like surely people feel the same way about this. The story deserves more than what we're getting, and what we're getting is still great, but I feel like they could do so much more. Like, I'm only saying it because, like, as we're getting closer to the end of the show, literally we've got 1 more episode left, it definitely feels like a lot was kind of skipped over, right? Like, I didn't really feel that at the beginning of the season, but now when I'm thinking about it, like, the Ty stuff not coming back, obviously, like I said. I guess it's also just me, like, dreading the end, right? Because once it's over, it's over. Like, we're not going to see this character again, we're not going to see maybe a lot of these characters again. We could see... I mean, it depends how these character stories end next episode. Like, will Kleya get to Yavin? Will she die as they're trying to get her out? What happens to Wilmon? Because he doesn't show up in Rogue One, right? I don't think he does. What happens to Dedra? Also, K2 knocking that guy over the wall was funny as fuck. Are you one of ours? No. The thing that's weird is, like, the weapons they had in Gorman weren't enough to take out K2. Right? Like, the blasters were just hitting him, but they weren't doing anything. But then in Rogue One, the blasters, like, a little pistol was enough to damage his, like, or damage a KX droid's shell. Like, it damaged the armor and killed it, like, instantly. I think, right? That scene in Rogue One, like, there's that one KX droid where I think Jin shoots it. I don't know if it's with a pistol or just a normal blaster, but it goes right through the armor. I guess maybe the Empire just has better weapons suited for their own droids or something. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, we've got one more episode to watch. It's going to be depressing, potentially bittersweet, because it's the end of the story and the end of Cassian. Also, like I said at the end, his hair is looking a lot more like Rogue One right now, which makes sense. I assume this is only a few days before Rogue One, like Krennic said. Like, only a few more days of testing. And Pargas just rolls his eyes like, you've said this all the time. That's what he was thinking about. Excited to see how this story all comes to an end, and if it leads into Rogue One really fucking well. I do wonder if we'll see Galen and they'll do the Bodhi stuff, but I feel like they would have already seeded that, right? So yeah, I mean, that basically sums it all up. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and I will see you for the next one. Ta-ta! Infinity.